Hello and welcome to Interviews from My Hometown. My name is Seth, and as you can see, we are in the new setup for face-to-face interviews. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Aaron Lane. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How was the drive over?
Yeah, hot. It's pretty hot today.
Yeah.
And I've been outside all day, so I'm a little toasty.
Yeah. So Aaron, could you give a brief description of yourself?
I don't know.
Okay. That's the first time this has happened, okay.
Well, I'm Aaron Lane, and I've grown up in Wenatchee my whole life. Been here the whole time. Just kind of hang out. That's what I do.
Alright, perfect. How long have you lived in the greater Wenatchee area?
I was born and raised here. Born in Wenatchee, moved to East Wenatchee, and that's it.
Alright.
Yeah.
What was the early life for you? Like sports, extracurricular activities, that sort of thing?
Well, I moved to East Wenatchee when I was like 4 or so, 3 or 4, and so before that I didn't really do any sports in Wenatchee, but I got into soccer and baseball pretty early age. I don't remember what. I think it was like 4. I was like 4 when I got into soccer and baseball, a little t-ball and whatnot.
Yeah.
I played that for quite a while. Baseball, I played until like 6th grade, and then soccer I got out of that like 4th grade. So yeah.
Alright, perfect. Who are you staying with? Who do you have to see every day through this weird time that we're living through?
Well, I'm living at home with my parents and my sister, but my sister's gone constantly these days, so I don't know where she is. But yeah, and then I've been working, so actually this whole last week I wasn't in town, so just kind of work is keeping me busy, so I don't have to be home. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. What do you do on a daily basis when we're not in quarantine?
Well, if I'm not working, like my daily thing would be, get up, mess around, just like watch YouTube for a little bit, and then just start working on cars or something, projects around the house. I don't like sitting down very much, so I just...
So this is uncomfortable for you, is what you're telling me?
Well, it's not bad, because it's like a little break for
Alright.
myself, the torture of my constant go.
Yeah.
No one pushes me, but I push myself too hard sometimes.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite spots around town? Like restaurants, bars, that sort of thing?
Well, I'm not too big into bars right now. But favorite restaurant in town? I really like Walkabout Grill. I don't go there very much, but it's really good. Country Boys.
Country Boys.
That's the spot.
That's the spot?
I try not to eat there too much so that it stays really good, just so it's like the thoughts like, oh, Country Boys, it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alright. So what would you say your go-to order at Country Boys is?
The pulled pork sandwich. That's it.
Nothing special about it? No like coleslaw on the side or anything?
Oh yeah, it just comes with coleslaw.
Yeah.
Like you go to Country Boys and they're not messing around there, You don't just order a sandwich. If you order just a sandwich, they ask if you're okay. So.
So something that I personally feel you can tell a lot by a person through is their music taste. So what is your music taste? What do you listen to on a daily basis, Aaron?
So this is an interesting one. The way I listen to music would be I just kind of like browse around. This would be like an off time for me. So I'll be feeling weird, feeling off. I'll be like browsing for music, just trying to listen to old stuff that I've listened to. Try to find some new stuff. And if I find an artist that I like, I will listen to them on repeat until I can't stand it anymore.
Okay.
And then I'll go back into that phase of like trying to find old stuff, trying to find new stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm into there's this one artist, Erin Martin.
Okay.
She's kind of like this. It's almost like lo-fi trap rap. I don't really know exactly how to describe it.
Yeah.
But usually I'm into most of that stuff, like chill trap, or kind of getting into rap a little bit here and there. Logic's pretty good, Eminem's good, But other than that, it's mostly like chill vibes. So.
Right. Yeah, I think you showed me her when we were still at the church and still doing stuff.
Actually, no, because this is
No?
just recent.
Just
it's
recent?
Yeah,
Okay.
like last week.
Huh. I wonder who that was. I don't even remember, so.
Yeah, Odessa is like one of my top favorite bands. They're not rap at all, but And then I don't know. So like, I'm not into this music at all. But could you guess my favorite song?
No, I don't.
Or just like genre. What?
Favorite genre.
No, the favorite song is not in the favorite genre.
Oh, it's
at all.
not?
No.
Oh. Boy. I don't know. I'd probably say it'd probably be some worship song, but I'm not sure.
No, it's actually my favorite song is Claire de Lune.
What?
Claire de Lune
By who?
by Debussy. It's an old classical song.
Oh.
It's a beautiful song.
Okay.
Honestly, it'll just take you, put you somewhere else.
I'm not a big classical guy. I don't
No,
listen to a lot
this.
of it.
You'd like this one.
Alright.
It's good.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Alright. So this is getting into the intimate questions, or
Oh boy. Here we go.
I don't like any of those words. Because I said personal for the longest time. I don't like that.
Personal's
word.
better.
Personal's better? Alright. Personal questions then. What is something you're curious about right now?
Honestly, there's like so much always running through my head about like stuff like that's going on currently, upcoming, and how to make it better. Right now, I'm really just thinking about stuff to make my car better because I have a couple races coming up.
Yeah.
So there's like some things I'm interested there.
Yeah. A good example I like to tell for that question is something I think about a lot, and that is, how does glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Glue, like when you pour the glue out?
No, how does it not stick to the inside of the bottle?
Oh, how does it not stick?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's something
Well,
I think about.
I think it's not set.
I don't want to look it up, so I think about it a lot. Like, and when I think I'll figure it out, I'll just move on to another subject. Like, what happens if I were to throw a bag of chips out in space?
I think it would just float. I'm not gonna ruin that.
Yeah,
but I think it would just float forever. Well, like if you're talking in that terms, like what just pops into my head randomly. Oftentimes I wonder why I'm not dead, because I've done a lot of crazy stuff.
All right, I like that. What do you wish you? Because I don't write down the actual question I want to ask people. What is some advice you would give to someone that is just starting to live in Wenatchee?
Just starting to live in Wenatchee.
Mm-hmm. Like a 20-something.
Well, I would say that it's very interesting. It's a very nice place to live.
Mm-hmm.
All the scenes, like people groups and whatnot, are kind of cliquey. It's a little bit cliquey.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like don't get into one little group, there's always more groups.
Yeah.
So I just find that if you find one that's like-minded, they'll accept you and you're in. So, and then figure out what you like. Obviously, if you're moving to a new town. Maybe you don't. But
maybe not.
There's a lot of stuff to do here in Wenatchee. Not very much of it is indoors. So
yeah,
you gotta kind of go outside.
And currently, that's pretty good. Like
yeah. I think we're in a weird or like a rare spot for the whole like quarantine.
Yeah.
We can go outside, and you can't really stop all of us because Wenatcheeites don't really care.
Yeah, I'm glad you used that term. Thank you.
The Wenatcheeite term?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a good term. I like it.
Alright, well, since we're talking about that, and since you already know what it is, I don't have to explain it to the rest of my audience. What does being a Wenatcheeite mean to you?
A Wenatcheeite? Ooh. I would say that a Wenatcheeite is obviously someone who lives in Wenatchee.
Mm-hmm.
Like currently, I wouldn't say that you have to live here your whole life to be a Wenatcheeite. I think that the valley accepts you in an odd way,
Okay.
And if you get stuck, you can't get out. If you get out, you get back somehow. I don't. It's the curse of Wenatchee. Yeah. You can't. People are like, oh, I gotta get out of here, and most of the time they come back. Yeah.
I'd say a good portion of the time. My dad has a really good friend named Rob Cox. I'm putting him on full blast right now.
You're on blast right now.
He graduated from Wenatchee High and moved to Kent, Washington, and hasn't come back.
Oh wow,
So,
Kent of all places.
Yeah, Kent.
You must have a good job there, huh? Kent? To each his own, People have to live there, I guess.
Right? I forget. I think he's an accountant. I could call my dad. Figure it out.
Well, Kent, Washington, an accountant in Kent?
Maybe. Perfect. Oh, I hate that. We're not in the joke section yet, Aaron. You can't be making these sort of things, okay?
That's the other thing. I make a lot of jokes. Very satirical jokes.
Could have been your brief description.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Too late now. Yeah. What's something that most people underestimate about you?
How often I'm right. Like to a point. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Because I don't like just jump into things. I mean, I do jump into things, but it's like a very like I analyze it for a minute
before you just jump off a bridge.
Yeah, but I'll jump off that bridge for sure.
Yeah.
And it might be quicker than some people.
Yeah.
But.
Have you ever jumped off the plank?
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
The rope swing.
I never have.
The rope swing part, and
okay.
that was the last time I'll do that.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I never
did like, so you can climb down onto like the bottom part of it, and it's honestly like 4 feet lower, but it feels so much lower. And I jumped off that first, and I was like, oh, it's not bad. And then someone had tied a rope on like the bar that goes to the top, and so like I held onto that and ran off the end, and it just like, the rope stopped, and I didn't swing, it was more like just launched me. Like head down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. I remember when they took that out, there were riots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What is the best compliment you've ever been given?
The best compliment?
Yeah.
Well, I think what's funny is that like Hayden said it earlier on the podcast about the like a guy gets a compliment like 6 years ago and remembers it. Yeah, I think it's like I had long hair for a while, and people were like, "Oh, you have very nice curly hair." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's nice." And then I cut it off.
Yeah.
But you know, it was a nice compliment.
Yeah,
because it doesn't like curl really like sharp or whatever. It's like big curls.
So let me ask you something, and this may get you in trouble.
Oh no.
How did you get a haircut in the middle of all this?
I have people connection.
All right.
We'll get into it. There is a person.
Yeah. It's not a robot. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well. No.
No. Okay. What's a passion of yours that you rarely share with people?
Well, obviously, you know, if you know me, I'm into cars.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty obvious one. But I'm also into RC airplanes.
Okay.
Like really big.
Yeah.
And like you've been over to my shop and you've seen them. You can't miss it if you come over to our shop. But otherwise, you wouldn't really know about me because I don't talk about it a lot. But yeah, very passionate about that.
So speaking of your passion of cars, what's something you're excited for that involves one of your cars?
Well, I have a few autocross races and rallycross races coming up because Governor opened up auto racing for whatever reason. That was on the list. It's like religious things. No, screw those people.
Yeah.
Auto racing.
Auto racing.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, all right, you know.
Since I can't do this, we'll do this.
I mean, you can do both. And that's what I'm trying to do, like incorporate Jesus into the cars.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, we need to start making one of those groups.
Yeah, we do. We really need to do that.
Andrea brought that up, and I'm like, that's actually...
Yeah, she's brought that up to me before, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know anyone else who's into cars that, like, really is into Jesus as well, so it's like, you know... Other than trucks. People are like, trucks.
What's... Let me rephrase that. What is it like being a rally racer? What is the experience like? Does it bring you adrenaline?
It does. So I can't say that I'm like a full rally racer because I haven't done like stage rallies, which is like the most, you know, the cool guys.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's insane. Just like going down these roads that you've been down once and now you're going full throttle.
Yeah.
You know? But for what I do, I'd say it's the adrenaline. Like, and most of it is getting to the race for me. Because like every time I've gotten to the race, it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
Because it's it's kind of on my own. I do have people helping me, and they're like big shout out to all those people. But it's a lot on me to like get there, get the car prepped, make sure that it doesn't break, and so yeah, it's kind of like the adrenaline of getting there. And then when you're there, it's like all this adrenaline. You get on the starting line, you're in the grid. You know that car in front of you takes off, and you're like, oh gosh. I'm missed. And then you're like, what was the course? I don't remember the course. And then you pull up to the line, and they're like, 3, 2, 1, go, and you're on the 2-step, and you just slam the clutch out, and you're like going. and that's it. And you're in that like precise moment, and you're like full throttle, maximum attack, and you just gotta wing, go with it. Something breaks, you gotta just push through it.
Yeah. So with your kind of rally racing that you're doing, you don't have a navigator that's sitting next to you?
I haven't so far because it's a smaller course.
Okay.
The first time I went, it was a extremely small course. It's kind of like a new race style that they were going with.
Yeah.
So that was my first ever experience with it. So I just I didn't have a co-driver, and I went and it was pretty easy. It was a small course, you could remember it all. It didn't change too much throughout the day. But the last few races, I've started to notice that the courses are longer. If you're a beginner who hasn't done a lot of auto racing, cones and stuff, you probably should have a navigator. So I'm gonna try to get one. The problem is that right now with the coronavirus stuff, you can't have someone outside of your household in the car.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have my dad in the car because he doesn't totally know what's going on. Not to this, and he just doesn't know totally what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't have another helmet, and he's a little big. I need someone pretty small and lightweight. I don't want to upset the balance.
Yeah.
But
so you're saying a me?
yeah, like you, or even smaller.
Oh, okay.
I think you would do though. You do good.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't look at the road. Just feel it. Yeah, keep your head down. It's a little scary.
No, that's the great thing. I love watching rally racing.
Yeah, stage rallies is insane. Yeah.
I love that. It's so intriguing to me just how complex it is almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like an art of auto racing on a track is one thing because they know the track and they're going at it and they know the lines, and the track usually has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So the lines are set in stone kind of a deal. You can follow the tire tracks and whatnot. But a rally race, like a stage rally or what I'm doing with the rallycross, the line is changing. Every car that goes through, the line is different.
Yeah.
And someone, Dirtfish instructor actually told me, don't run the line that seems the fastest. Run the line that has the most grip. And so there's really an art to that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Thank you for explaining that.
Sorry, I got off.
No,
I'm really passionate.
this is what I love about this show.
And there's a stage rally. Actually, funny thing is that Washington is one of the bigger places in the country for stage rallies. And
that's because we're dirt everywhere, basically.
Yeah, but it's it's just a cool thing. So there is one coming up in October, the Olympus Rally, and it should be open for spectators. So
sick.
Yeah, it'd be a really fun one to go to.
I might try and do that. Yeah, I'll be down. So Aaron, this is getting into one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's when I pass the interviewer position off to my guests. They can ask me any question they want.
Okay. Well, I haven't known you for that long, really.
It's been 10 months now?
I would argue.
Because we really started knowing each other in November when we went on the California trip.
Yeah, the California trip was a turning point.
Yeah.
So, about you.
It doesn't have to be about me. It can be about...
Did you play any sports when you were little? Like a little kid?
Little kid.
Little Seth running around?
Yeah, little
heads off
little meaning to 9. I played soccer and baseball.
Yeah.
But, as you can tell from me wearing glasses, I couldn't see, so I never hit the ball in baseball.
Yeah, that's something that I wasn't very good at baseball, hitting. But
no.
And I wear contacts now, but I didn't realize I was blind until I was 16.
Oh.
17 actually. I'd been driving for a bit and realized that it was getting more dangerous.
It's blurry.
I know. The first time I put glasses on and got in the car, I was like, whoa.
You can actually read those signs?
It wasn't just signs, it was the road has texture. You can see the asphalt. It isn't just a black strip. It's, But, no. So the same thing for me when I was little. I could never hit the ball.
Yeah.
Baseball.
I think I hit the baseball once.
So did you play at, the Eastmont four?
Yeah,
fourplex. I was probably playing at the same time.
Probably. We probably played against each other.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And something that I was big on was basketball. I played that 7th grade, and I tried out 8th grade.
I played basketball 7th grade as well.
Did you go to Clovis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just played through Eastmont, so it would have been.
Oh, okay. We probably played against each other.
Yeah. My team was honestly the worst team ever.
I was
It
on
just the coach's son who would only touch the ball, and if anyone else touched the ball, you'd be like on the bench for the rest of the game. We never won a game, oddly enough. Apparently basketball is one of those team player games.
Who knows? Yeah, so I tried out 8th grade year, and I didn't get in.
Oh, okay.
And
That was it.
who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I could have been like this big muscular guy at this point, but
Nope.
here I am.
I also, I ran cross country. That was a big part of my high school.
I'm not a big runner.
No, I did tennis for a couple of years. That was like one of those things that I thought would be really fun.
Tennis?
Yeah. And then I did it one year and I was like, and then I was like, I'll try it again. And it wasn't good. So, yeah, tennis, cross country, never did football. Football was not.
I wanted to do football.
I just
I
never wanted
just
to
did
do
it. There were so my dad explained like what you kind of need to be for each of the positions,
Mm-hmm.
and none of them fit me. Like I'm not a runner. Like you have to be
You could have been a
small.
quarterback.
You gotta be small and a runner, and I'm not small. I mean,
You
I'm
could've been
kind
a
of
runner.
small, but I'm not a runner.
You could be a sprinter.
Maybe
You could sprint. And that's all a quarterback does.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterback's a thrower, bro.
I know, but like they sprint a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I'm not a thrower either, though. I don't have an arm. I could have been maybe.
If you benched like every day,
Just constant.
bench only,
Bench.
just prison body, and you would have been fine.
Well, hold on here. I'm gonna make a cut here. I gotta pee.
Okay. Have fun. Stay safe.
I will. Keep the gas.
Oh, I'm stuck in Seth's basement now. This is awkward. He's got a pretty cool ceiling fan. It's a Harley Davidson edition ceiling fan. I've never seen one of those. It's got flames on it. Bald eagles. America. America. Hell yeah, brother. I was just commenting on your Harley Davidson edition.
Hold on. Yeah, so the Harley Davidson, yeah, the fan. Thank the remote.
Harley Davidson edition fan.
That's pretty cool where the remote is. It makes noise. I don't remember where the remote is, but it can rev. Like you press a button and it goes.
All right.
So Aaron, do you have any more questions for me?
All right. Few words. Few words about high school.
A few words about
If you
high
could
school.
explain high school to you in 5 words. Ooh, no, 10.
10 words? I get 10 words.
Yeah, you don't
Can I
have
go
to
less?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay.
I can tell you what mine is. Tragic.
One word. It's tragic. So this is like me now talking to 15-year-old Seth when he just started high school.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could give yourself a word about how to deal with high school, or you could just explain what it was, your experience.
So I'll do my experience first, and then I'll do future.
Okay.
Or early Seth. Future Seth talking to past Seth.
Right.
So my experience probably was lonely guy didn't talk. 4 words.
Tragic.
And to go to the back to past Seth. Do more activities and talk.
Talk
5
to
words.
people.
Talk to people.
Some of them might be nice.
Yeah, I wasn't a big talker.
Yeah.
That really, the talking part of me really sprouted senior year, like right when I needed it to.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's
then
how
it
it goes
just-
for a lot of people. It's just like, oh, I'm a person who has opinions now. And these opinions aren't all bad.
Yeah.
And then it's over. High school's
It's
over.
Like, I look back now, like, especially with this podcast, interviewing some of my friends from high school, it's been cool, like, oh, these people are actually kind of cool. Like, I'm sad I didn't talk to these guys.
Well, also, getting out of high school does a lot to a person.
Yeah.
When you're in high school, I feel like people get trapped in a person that they aren't, maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know, because I didn't go to a big high school all my life, or like high school
Yeah.
career. I went to the River Academy for first 3 years of high school, and then technically went to Eastmont, but I actually never took a class there.
Yeah, you were running start.
Yeah, I like showed up, signed forms, and walked out. And I did cross country. Cross country was a lot of fun, but not the high school part of things.
You were actually at Eastmont's graduation, right?
Yeah, I graduated with you.
Yeah.
it was-
We saw you there and we were like, who's that guy?
Yeah, people were like, "Who are you?" And they were like, people were like, "I know everyone at this high school, and I've never seen you." Exactly. Well, I did have a big banner of me behind the
Yeah.
for cross country.
We always saw it, like you hung up in the commons area for a while.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. So that was funny. Yeah. Oh. What you got for me? I love this part of the thing. Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Describe me.
Describe you?
Yeah, how would you describe me? Because I'm really bad at telling how I am in other people's eyes. So it's not really interesting.
Complex person that keeps to himself.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I'd say that pretty much sums you up. When I first met you, it was funny. I thought you hated.
I hate you. I was like, who's this guy? He looks kind of cool.
You were quiet all the time, and I was always like, man, this Aaron guy, he's just not like me.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
No, I did not like you. I just didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, it was funny. Like we talked for we had talked hey, how's it going, that sort of thing at car meets.
yeah.
Before we even
Yeah, that's the
did
thing.
anything.
And then I saw you at the church one.
I think I met that guy before.
Yeah. Man, I think I met that guy.
And people were telling me oh, the other intern. This was when it was just Nathan and I that were doing stuff. Like Seth Bedeto, he was telling us. Oh yeah, the other intern's Aaron. I don't know who this Aaron guy is.
Yeah, Seth Gamble. Like, I know too many Seths. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know. I don't have no room for Seth.
Yeah.
I think the first time I talked to you, I actually remember the first time I talked to you.
Yeah.
What did I do? When I asked you if Hayden's car was yours at the car meet. Because you were like standing there. He was all this boy was all hooked up on the car, like on the car basically. And I was like, oh, this must be the guy with this yellow bug eye. And I was like, oh, hey, is this your car? And you're like,
No. It's that one.
that's my friend. He's in Taco Bell. I think is what you said.
Sounds about right. Yeah. That happens a lot, honestly. But yeah, so doing filmmaking and stuff. Filming cars and stuff, and every video. If you really look at every video I've done, Hayden's car is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%.
Well, it's one of those things that like you show up to a car meet or whatever, and there's a bunch of people there, so you just kind of hang out with people that you know.
Yeah.
Or like always like you don't approach a new group alone.
Yeah. That's scary.
It's so freaky. There's some weird people there.
Yeah.
Weird people. I remember one time we were standing there and we were just BSing, and this one guy goes, "Hey, check this out," and he pulls out just like a crumpled up newspaper, sets it on the ground, and sets it on fire. Weird flex, but okay. He just stood there and watched it.
Like burn up. Weird flex, but alright.
He just stood there, and he then after that happened, he opened the trunk of his car, pulled out a bush light, popped it, chugged, and then threw the can away.
And that was it. Oh man, that's the end of that.
card full? You just got timed out.
Timed out.
Huh? Alright, there's your timeout.
Welcome back. Sorry for that interruption.
You didn't miss much.
You didn't miss a lot. No.
He did the handstand.
Yeah. Aaron did a backflip. That was it though.
Almost broke my neck.
Almost. I'm glad we're here though.
Yeah, so the car meets can be weird and wild sometimes, but usually if you get a good friend group going.
Yeah. I think we found a pretty good core group.
Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, there's a few of them that are like
Yeah.
kind of the bad apples, but
This last one I went to, I guess it was Friday night, there was a really cool Celica GT4.
Hayden was showing me that.
Oh man, that thing was nice.
Yeah. It's imported, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imported, like, pretty new import.
That's cool.
It's a cool car. The only time I've ever, like, seen one before in person was, like, a fully clapped out rally one.
Yeah.
We got them here in the U.S., no right-hand drive, or left-hand drive, and they're not quite the same looking, like, you know, obviously the one that was there, the car meet was, like, Blitz body kit, and
Yeah.
super rare parts, but, yeah, like, the only other one was a totally clapped out rally car, stage car, but...
It's funny, like, when I was young, people would talk about, like, left-hand drive, right-hand drive cars, and for the longest time, I didn't know that people had steering wheels on the right side of their car, so I'm like, you're talking to me, you can only steer with your left or right hand?
Right. Just like, if I use my left hand,
It'll
it'll all break.
I was so confused for the longest time, and
That's hilarious.
then I started getting into like this happened. This was like until I was 15. Like I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
Like I really didn't get it, and then Hayden started talking about these Subarus and how like oh yeah you can import them from Japan. They're right hand drive cars, and I'm like oh that's cool. Could you show me a picture? And he's like yeah sure, and he showed me a picture and
You're
the
like,
steering wheel on the right.
it's all back.
And I'm like.
Oh. They actually drive on the other side of the road.
No, excuse me. It wasn't until I was 15. I didn't know how to drive yet. I was 13 because I went to Grand Cayman and they drive on the wrong side of the road and everything's flipped.
Yeah.
And my dad, he was the one that was driving us everywhere. He became confused because the blinker and the blinkers where the windshield wiper is and the windshield's where the blinker is
Because
for
it's
us.
on the other side.
Yeah. So.
And then it gets weirder if you drive stick shift and stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, what really got me into cars was basically like the old Top Gears, like the OG Top Gears. You know, Jeremy Clarkson when he was young, not a very old man, but yeah. So like I was like really into the European cars kind of.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really get into the Japanese cars. I don't remember what it was. Something sparked me, and I was like, man, these cars are cool. I think it was like probably the GTR, you know, like the Nissan R32s and whatnot. And for the longest time, I wanted an R32 so bad. And now they're like unattainable.
Yeah. No way. You're not getting one.
No. I mean, when I first started looking at them, I was 15. I was like, I need a car. I have a little bit of money saved up. And you could pick up a GTR in the States for like $8,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is all the money I have. And this is like my college fund. I was like, and looking back, I definitely should have done it. I definitely should have done it because you could turn around and sell that car now for 3 times the price.
Yeah.
So, big mistake.
So, in your opinion, what would your dream car be?
Now, see, this is an interesting one because I've had the dream car list. You know, I have like 5 cars that I always wanted. I always have liked the 280Zs.
Okay.
That's like a big one. The 280Z. I mean, everybody wants the 8086. You know, the Corolla, the clapped out Corolla. But probably, like honestly, one of my dream cars is my 914, my Porsche 914. I would like to drive it someday.
Yeah, you own the body of it. And do you have the engine?
I have an engine. It's not the original, but I'm actually going with a different motor.
Okay.
And I got all the parts.
You just need to put them in.
Yeah, that's easier said than done because I gotta like finish the cage, finish everything else. It's a total restore.
So, with you saying that, of you have a car that you're just needing to kind of restore, how soon would you say, in your eyes, that car would be running by?
Well, that's the other problem is that I can't like commit to finishing a car because I just need a different one.
Yeah.
So I was on a pretty good path, excuse me, to finishing the 914, and then my car that I was driving daily was starting to get really, really bad. So I had to pick up another car, and I wound up getting the Subaru WRX, and that has spiraled a lot of things. Definitely has put the 914 project on hold because I got into rally and
The battery died.
do you have another battery?
Yeah.
And brake. That was gnarly.
Huh? Oh, did you say that was gnarly?
That was gnarly.
I lost the actual battery that came with the camera.
Oh, so you just have like Amazon specials?
Yep. $20.
It's a good deal.
It's not as good as those Canon batteries though.
You're not gonna get much better than Canon batteries.
Seems something about them are special.
It's almost like it's designed for the camera or something.
Almost like it's a manufacturer part.
Since we're already in the process of looking stuff.
Let's make sure we're still recording.
Yes.
It's been on pause the whole time.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, no, we're good.
We're good.
Alright, so we were talking about. What were we talking about?
Your
914. Yeah, so I got into rallying, and I realized that it was like more of an attainable sport than I thought. And
Aaron ceases to amaze me, audience, because Aaron drives his rally car daily.
Yeah. Well, you get to know a car, and it's like if anything broke, I could have it fixed in like a certain amount of time. So I know.
With variable part.
Yeah, if like the engine let go, it would be a few weeks, but I could have it back together.
Yeah.
No problem. I do have a backup car that I'm just kind of waiting to use.
Oh yeah? What's your backup car if you don't mind me asking?
It's a 1997 Subaru Outback.
Oh cool.
And it's beat up really bad, and I've been like toying with the idea of like cutting the back off and turning it into a truck. But at the same time, like if you turn it into a truck, then it's completely useless.
Yeah.
You just can't store stuff in it.
Useless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
It's a good car. My sister drove it around for a year or so, and
Beat it up more.
yeah, she definitely beat it up a little bit more. It's had some issues.
Going to my original question, I'd probably say my dream car.
Yeah, what is your dream car?
I have two. It's a Skyline.
Which one? The Hakusoku or the? Because that's one of my like big dream cars. It's completely unattainable. Like
No.
so unattainable.
I wouldn't say I forget the name of it.
The Skyline. Which one is it? Like the rounded headlights or like the?
The rounded headlights.
So the R30. No, like the round ones.
Yeah, round.
So is it like the square bodied one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Hakusoku.
Oh, it is.
I can't say it right because I'm not too white.
Yeah,
But yeah,
again, I don't know
the
anything about
OG.
it.
That's the OG one.
Yeah,
And those are really, really rare.
yeah, I know they are.
Everyone wants them. But you can make them pretty close from other cars. But,
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, but it's that one was like the highest point, and I know that's not obtainable. And my second is a 1992 Honda Prelude.
Oh, the Prelude.
I love Prelude.
The Lude.
It was my grandma. My grandma's owned a Lexus as long as I've been alive because she wanted a safe car to drive me around in when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But she also owned a yellow 1992 Honda Prelude, and I love that car.
Where's it at now?
She sold it.
The yellows are hard to find, actually.
Free, I know you're listening to this. I call my grandma Free. Free, I know you're listening to this. Why'd you sell that car? I know the reason why he sold it. It's because he didn't want me to drive it.
Because she knew that you would hog on it.
Exactly.
I've seen a couple people rallycross races.
Really?
Yeah.
The cool
Do pretty well.
The cool thing with Prelude, some of them at least, they have the full wheel steering.
Oh yeah, the 4-wheel tuning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know much about that. I'm assuming it's probably more of like a mechanical style instead of an actual
it's
hydraulic.
Yeah, it's mechanical. It's pretty interesting. You have a lot, like, you know my car, the Chevy Equinox.
See, I thought that was always your dream car, the Equinox.
Oh no. God, no.
You're just bumping around in his Equinox all the time.
I love that thing.
He mobs it. Honestly,
I
I've
love
never
it.
seen someone mob SUV harder. Except for my mom. She mobs that Highlander pretty hard.
Yeah. No, my Chevy Equinox's turning radius is baloney.
Probably very bad, yeah.
It's really bad. But the turning radius on a Prelude is just like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to turn right?
Turning right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car doesn't have a super good turning radius. It's
Probably better than mine.
all the drive stuff. Yeah, the have you ever seen like a Datsun 510, like old one?
I don't think so.
Oh, you would like that one.
Yeah. I like
It's got that square body
Yeah,
Datsun
like-
look. Yeah, the old
square body stuff.
Also, one of my other like dream cars.
Supra?
No, not a Supra, but a Celica.
Ooh.
Not the new ones or like the newer ones.
Yeah.
But actually like a, I think they're called RE72 or RA72. The old 1978 or like a even newer one, like a square body one.
Yeah.
Like a 82, I think is what it is. But yeah, that's one of my dream cars actually. I've been looking so hard for one.
Yeah.
Can't find it.
Hey, guy that works out at Pacific Aerospace and Electronics, my job, that owns the square body Supra, contact me. I want to buy it. Like 100%, I'll put $10,000 down right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh, don't say that.
It's clean. Like, I'm talking
How clean?
really clean.
10 grand's a lot for a Supra.
Okay, maybe
You're looking at,
$5 grand.
I don't know, I'd have to see it.
It's really clean.
Is it
Like,
dark?
he's talked to me about it.
Is it the red one?
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
He's talked to me about it. He's kept it really nice.
Yeah.
And he rarely drives it either.
Yeah, I had a chance to buy 2 Supras once.
You've told me about that, and it looked a little sketchy.
It was pretty sketchy because I went to buy one was, I mean, they were both manuals. One was it had the turbo 7M GC, or the 7M motor, so it was the turbo 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just a NA 6-cylinder. And the one, he's like, "Yo, I don't have a title for the one." And I'm like, so one had good parts in it, no title.
No title.
The other one it was all
Title.
torn apart.
But no parts.
Well, it didn't even wind up having the title. He's like, well, my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, has the title. And I'm like, oh, I bet she does. And he's like, I could get it for you though. It'd be a few months. And I'm like,
Few months?
few months, dog. I ain't giving you money for these cars, and I couldn't even get rid of them because I don't know if all your viewers know, but if you get a car that doesn't have a title, you can't even scrap it.
Yeah, can't scrap it. It'll take it. I mean, you could file for a lost title.
Yeah, but also if you file for a lost title
And
and
it's
a
stolen.
girlfriend turns up and she's like, he stole it from me, and then you lose your car.
Yeah, and then you're in
Yeah.
prison.
You're not in prison, you just lose the car.
Well, I mean, if they're like, did you steal the car? Is that you?
Yeah, but you have a bill of sale. I would have written it. So you would have like a bill of sale that says that you didn't steal it. But you definitely lose all your money. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Even though it was
I wouldn't.
It was
take
$600.
Yeah, even I wouldn't take that deal. Like I have $600 and I wouldn't.
I'm
two Supras that don't have a title on it.
Yeah, that's difficult. You can't do much with a car without a title.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for me, Aaron? Any other questions?
Yeah. What are your plans for the? I know you have a couple like media company ideas in the works.
Mhm.
What's kind of your plan, or is that top secret?
Um,
Or just not totally public?
It's totally not public, but I guess it will be now. I'll give you parts because I don't want to spread it.
Right.
I've talked to you about Hayden's and I's idea of doing that auto shop place in town.
Yeah.
Won't get into that and want someone to steal it.
No, that's a good idea.
I really like that idea. If I knew more about it, I probably would have already started.
working on it, but whatever. This Hometown Productions is officially a thing.
Nice.
I haven't put down as a company yet, but it's not an LC yet, but whatever.
It's not that big yet.
Yeah. We'll keep that on the wrap. So, yeah, Hometown Productions is kind of becoming a thing. I'd love to get like an LLC and get an office space and stuff once I have enough money to do that, and if I make money on this podcast or something. Podcast is on Spotify, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
could potentially make ad revenue on the podcast.
Keeps to sponsor you.
Keeps. I was actually talking to someone. I wanted to start having hometown places like American Shoe Shop.
No, that's a good idea.
Firehouse Pet
I
Shop.
think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Start sponsoring the show.
Definitely.
But I mean, right now it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, everybody's
Everyone's trying to.
frugal with money, and
Yeah.
I get that.
You know who I think would definitely Walkabout Girl.
Yeah, Walkabout would
I'm
be a good one.
completely joking. They just put a for sale sign in their Leavenworth location.
Yeah, I heard that they're selling their Leavenworth one, but that's just to keep their,
Keep it going.
keep their hometown one or the downtown one
The main
strong.
one.
Yeah, I mean the Leavenworth is a good idea, but I don't think anything in Leavenworth is going to see a good profit for at least a year at this point.
Yeah.
Which
I don't
sucks.
think so.
For like.
I don't
this
know.
company.
Cheesemonger's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Cheesemonger's doing. I mean, you could do well with the like getting everything online. To
But
go.
Walkabout does not work.
Walkabout's a hard one.
I don't think it would work.
Because you kind of need to be there and.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, the owner dude, he went on Dr. Phil, and he talked to Dr. Phil about like why he said, "Oh, we're gonna stay open" and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And Dr. Phil's like, "Well, can't you just do delivery?" And he's like, "It just doesn't work for me."
It doesn't work like that at
Yeah.
that place, no. It's
And
that's
I
a
feel
tough
that,
one.
I mean, my mom, she talked to me about that. I hope you don't mind me talking about this, Mom. But my mom's talking about that, of how she doesn't like that he was just like, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I
And
think he might have done it a little
he-
too soon.
Yeah.
I think it was too soon because there was a genuine panic and it seemed legitimate at
Yeah.
the time, but I
Well-
think that he could open now.
Yeah, he probably could open that. Like Lighthouse, not Lighthouse. Windmill? Excuse me.
Yeah,
You know.
the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. I'm sorry.
Windmill, they're opening on the 27th.
Yeah, I heard that.
So, who knows?
Yeah. Well, I was just down in Hood River this week for work, and I mean it was very interesting. I think Oregon's a little bit more liberal than parts of Washington, especially like when you go, like that's a hard border there between like southern Washington, where it is very much Republican, and then it goes very liberal, and so it was interesting to see in Oregon that there were a lot of places open for sit down.
Yeah.
And I mean I don't know what stage they're in. They're probably in
They're-
stage 1 still, I think.
So, Oregon's
Maybe
doing it differently than Washington.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. So, they didn't really. So, this is coming from a person who. Future guest of the show, Nat.
Nice.
Hunts is also what we call him. That's with an H. It's not with a C. Trust me. He was telling my dad and I that they put the country
Or the
or
state.
the state, the country. They put it on kind of a lockdown, but you can still go. Just be safe, basically. If you want to go outside, go outside. But
Right. Kind of what we wound up doing here in Wenatchee. We just did it on our own.
yeah, I mean, the businesses here in Wenatchee are still kind of getting hit, but
Yeah, that's an interesting one. There were some restaurants just totally open.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you could come in and sit down, and then other restaurants were takeout only, and it was weird.
one of the favorite takeout ones that I've heard, or I have two, is Iwa did takeout sushi. Like, little weird. Okay
Weird.
though. My favorite is up in Chelan. I forget the name of the restaurant. They're doing drive-through margaritas and nachos.
Oh boy. Yikes. Alright.
Like, oh yeah, cool.
No, but there were like restaurants open. We went.
That's crazy.
We just went and we're like, shoot, we should have just sat down. Yeah. You can order online, but
Yeah.
Sit down is available.
That's crazy. Like here in town, I'm hard pressed to find a place I can sit down at. Not that I'm going to.
Not
but,
yet. Not yet. I think in the next few weeks we'll see a lot open up against.
I mean,
because our governor is going to keep pressing it harder because we're defying him or whatever.
Grant County's in phase 2 now.
Oh, we're not even in phase 2. What are we in? Phase 1?
Chelan. Chelan County's in phase 1 right now.
It's just 'cause it doesn't
Grant
matter.
County is East Wenatchee.
Yeah. No,
They're in
East
phase
Wenatchee's Douglas.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Grant's down south.
Yeah,
That's
way down south. I just got my geography mixed up. I'm sorry. That was on me.
But that's an interesting one. That Grant County is in phase 2. That does make sense. Grant County is a very Republican county.
I'm just surprised that neither of our counties are in phase 2, and I get the reason why.
Yeah. He doesn't like us at this
Yeah.
point. He's pretty pissed off.
I think so. There were,
But Grant County has a lot of tech businesses,
Yeah.
like Google.
It kind of makes sense. They're probably trying to.
And they're trying to open up because they're going off of what Seattle's doing. I think Seattle is it in phase 2 already?
No,
not
yeah.
yet.
Still in phase 1, but King County's still in phase 1. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't.
But like, I'm just looking at like options they had given us before all this happened of dividing the state and taking some of Idaho, some of Oregon, and the basic this side of the mountain side.
Oh, Liberty?
Kind of
Are you talking about
Liberty? Yeah. And doing that,
Yeah,
I think that's becoming,
Liberty.
I think that's becoming a little bit more.
It's funny how few people
Possible.
know about that one actually.
Yeah.
About Liberty, I mentioned it to a couple people, and they're like,
what?
"What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, you don't know that the state is trying to split apart and has been for 30 years now,
Yeah,
30 plus.
30 years. I think. Again, this is just me speculating. I'm a big conspiracy theorist guy. I like listening to them, hearing what people say. I think people are gonna become
Eddie
more.
Bravo.
Yeah. I think people are gonna become more aware of it, and it's
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
so.
gonna
It's
push a little
probably
bit
a
more.
good idea.
I think it is.
We're a big enough state.
Well,
we could be big enough.
I'm looking at
You're looking at
how Douglas, Chelan, Grant, and all of these counties that are past this part of the mountains,
you
how
could
they
go.
vote and stuff.
Yeah, you could go Spokane, Yakima, Ellensburg, Walla Walla.
Wenatchee,
Wenatchee's the next biggest one.
Chelan.
Chelan's pretty big, I guess. Chelan Manson deal.
Yeah.
And
Chelan,
then
Manson.
there's big enough. I think you could do it.
Yeah, I
And
really think you could
have
just
Pullman as well.
Pullman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you really could just split the
The
state
problem is
down.
that I don't think Oregon would be too chill with it.
The top part of Oregon's pretty red.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we could do it then.
And they were talking about taking some of Idaho off. I'm like, they're already pretty red.
They're red. They're good.
I think they're fine.
I don't know if they would want us.
Yeah. Yeah, but top part of Oregon, you got this half, or middle is Portland,
Mm-hmm.
and then past Portland is red, and
Portland's not middle.
it's middle of the state at the top.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I mean. You hit Vancouver.
There's not much out there past.
There's not. Well, you hit Vancouver
And the Dalles.
Oregon, Oregon and Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington are right here.
Yeah, they're all
So-
together.
Yeah, it's
What's out there? There's a couple other towns in there in Portland, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's crazy. What can you
It's
say?
a crazy time, and I think that we're gonna see a lot more stuff. I think a lot more stuff should just open up on its own. Whoever's gonna go after him, just go after him.
Yeah.
It's kind of absurd at this point. I think our church is opening up.
Did it really?
I think
I
so.
think we need to cut that out.
I think we need to cut that out.
Let's not talk about that.
Well, I mean, Trump did say we can open up.
Shut up! What? So
I thought this was a safe place.
Aaron, something you've talked to me about is that your sister listens to a different podcast called Last Podcast on.
Oh yeah, she listens to that.
Um,
I've listened to a few, but it gets too far out there for me.
Yeah?
Doesn't it?
what would you say your favorite conspiracy theory is?
Well, right now I think that I don't know a lot of super deep cut
Yeah.
ones. I would call them deep cut because honestly, you could.
There's some of them
It
that
could
are a
be
little out
it could
there.
be an album. Right now the UFOs.
UFOs?
I mean, I don't know if your listeners know about that and stuff, and you say UFO and people are like, oh, whatever. But you know the Pentagon released
Yeah, they release
that,
stuff that are kind of proving UFOs are
that
real.
UFOs are real.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the Tic Tac one.
Yeah, I've seen the Tic Tac one.
That's it. That's legit.
That's pretty big.
That's legitimate. I think that's it's pretty legit that when you have like how many 7 Navy fighter pilots claim to see it, all
7.
have pretty much the same account.
All
of
the
it.
exact same account.
Yeah, and
basically.
we have it on like several different radar, infrared, all the different HD.
There's so much evidence pointing towards
it's
it.
that's obviously there, and it would take a lot to fake that. It could be faked, but when the government is kind of just not dismissing it hard, but rather just kind of and then they're like, yeah, it's real, guys. But in the middle of all of this, so no one listened.
No one listens. One of my favorite things. Have you heard about the Bill Gates 5G conspiracy?
I have not. When people say 5G and get all freaked out,
let me
just tell you, people, most of your people, I'm sure everyone listening right now has a Wi-Fi router at home, and there's a better than not chance that you have 5G in your home.
Yeah.
A lot.
100%.
If you have bought a router, if you have bought a Netgear router in the last year and a half,
it probably has 5G.
It has 5G. If there's two Wi-Fi's at your house,
even 4 years ago.
If you bought top of the line 4 years ago, it has 5G.
Yeah.
You've been living in it for at least a year.
So this has been my favorite conspiracy theory to look into. I love conspiracy theories. I love reading into them and being like, this is so dumb.
But some of them are pretty dumb, but some of them are like, oh shoot,
maybe
that could be real.
It's like whack-a-mole though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you miss one and it's like, jeez, yeah, that's true. But so.
That's ringtone.
Let me turn off my
You got a TikTok alert.
Quiet. So the 5G Bill Gates conspiracy theory. So they're saying since Bill Gates is funding the coronavirus vaccine, he's going to input a chip into us.
I don't like any of the chip talk that we're talking about. You start talking about chips and you're like, get it out of here. Get that out of here!
And the chip is going to be controlled by the 5G towers.
Well, I mean, that totally makes sense why you would use 5G to control that.
Let me tell you where it gets really weird, though. Okay? These people say that when they control us, we're going to become the... have you seen the SpongeBob movie?
Mm-hmm.
When Plankton takes over the people with the chum buckets?
Yeah,
we're going to become those people. We're gonna become slaves and build another pyramid.
Let's build a tetrahedral shape in the middle of Wyoming!
Let's just build a real life game of Tetris in the middle of Ohio.
The one that got me is Elon Musk. What is it? What's the stuff the neuronet.
Oh yeah.
Neuronet stuff. That's pretty cool. Also a little freaky.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's talking 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What? I mean, they're ready to go and test it on people right now, but they're just trying to figure it out. But
yeah,
that's the only way I can see being controlled.
So this is kind of public knowledge, so I'm allowed to, I think, talk about it. If not, I'll cut it out. I don't care. So something with Elon Musk that happened with my company is, so Elon Musk just shot up, or not Elon Musk, SpaceX just shot up their first manned space rocket.
Right.
And landed it.
Yeah.
On the space rocket, some of PA&E's parts are on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that makes sense.
And that was really cool for me to hear because I didn't know we were doing stuff with SpaceX.
Mm-hmm. Well, they probably keep you out of the loop on purpose on a lot of stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. My dad's. I'm not gonna say that.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. Tom, if you're listening to this, I don't know anything. Yeah. So, any other questions?
I had one.
And then we went into conspiracy.
We went into the 5G. I lost my mind. I worked with a guy who was in the old 5G stuff started coming out last year, he was like,
I'm
why are these towers so big? Why do they have so much power going into them? It's like, well, have you ever thought like how it works?
Yeah.
They're shooting out a lot of radio waves there, bud. It's gonna take a lot of power. That's the deal with 5G, is it's not gonna take as much.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In some ways good.
I still love one of our cell towers in town in East Wenatchee near it's shaped like a tree. It's a fake tree.
The first time I saw one of those was in Hawaii. Okay.
What was it shaped like?
A palm tree. It was very bad. Like you looked at it and you're like, that is
not a tree.
It is not like the rest of these.
I think here in Washington they can make them look okay.
They could make it look better.
They didn't do well with this one.
They didn't do well.
But I think the pine tree is a good idea.
It's a good idea. It's a good move.
But you gotta do it right.
You kind of not have it look like a fake one. I mean, for our viewers who haven't seen it, or listeners, you need to cut it like a real tree. It's not perfect. It's a perfect cone. It's just like, whoop. Tree.
It'd be like if a person took branches and painted themselves brown and just stood there with the branches sticking off of it.
But it's like perfectly shaped.
Yeah.
It's not what the rest of them look like.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So how do you feel, like, not to get into politics too much because people get weird about it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
that's something we need to change in the country. But anyway.
Let's change it.
Let's not get into that too much. Politics are politics. Everyone has a different way of thinking.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be very loud.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, how do you feel about the whole like Obama deal right now? Obamagate and.
So, this is gonna sound so bad. I have not kept up with any news at all because every time I pulled up NPR news or something, it's just coronavirus. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to this.
They're shoving it under the carpet pretty well, the media is, which is a little disturbing.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about it. I've heard about the Biden thing, about him saying that you ain't black.
Oh, well there's who's the guy? I think it was Biden as well who funded or like basically bribed like $1 billion to keep his son out of trouble.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
To Ukraine.
Yeah,
that was exactly how
Biden.
Trump got impeached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Biden also did that.
I'm gonna stay quiet about that.
And they're not gonna talk about it. I think it's very interesting to look into.
So my favorite video right now.
You can't trust everything, but I mean, when something that large comes out, it should be looked into.
Maybe you should look at this, you guys.
And from what I've seen so far, it's not absurd.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an absurd accusation.
No. But one of my favorite videos right now is Biden, and he's talking about what his favorite peanut butter sandwich is.
I've seen this guy's a meme. I don't know, like he is a meme. What's the one? He talked about his sister. That killed me. Someone asked him on Twitter about his siblings, and he was like, "My sister is the love of my life," and then it just like video cut.
Wait, what?
What?
My favorite was he was on stage, and he turned and he thought his wife was right here, so he went to go give her a kiss, and then it was his daughter.
Oh no!
And he went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got mixed up." And then he went and then he gave a kiss to his wife. It was like a cheat kiss, and it was like, what?
And back insane. I don't know. I saw an ad for him popped up on YouTube when I was watching a video, and I was like, man, this guy's not doing too well. He's kind of like stuttering.
Yeah.
Pretty old.
Well, so that's actually been a thing. Like, he has a stutter. I have a stutter too.
Yeah, but you can tell that it's catching up to him.
Yeah, he was able to hide it really well when he was vice president because he wasn't spending too much time on camera.
Yeah. When you're vice president,
you're
too busy.
Yeah, you're too busy. You're actually doing something. And so he was able to hide it really well. But now that he's in debates and he's always on camera,
Yes, that's true. Yeah, it would come out more.
yeah,
It's
it's a lot more prevalent.
Mm.
So, I don't know. I don't keep up with news, especially politics news.
Yeah, politics news gets too murky.
Yeah, especially now, like I kept up with some news before all this, and then as soon as they started talking about death toll numbers and stuff, I'm like, can we stop talking about this?
It gets real murky when you get into like a media source that has an agenda.
Yeah.
Talking about something like that, it's kind of difficult. I wish they would just report facts and then leave it at that. Leave it
That
up to
doesn't
the,
bring you numbers.
I know. Well, leave it up to the viewer to come to a conclusion. Don't tell them how to do it.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's what the one news source that I trust is the Philip DeFranco show on YouTube.
What's funny is that like a news source like that can be very legitimate.
Yeah, because
but as soon as you say that, people are like, oh, whatever. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, if you really look at the Philip DeFranco show, like this is going deep dive Philip DeFranco show right now.
Hard plug.
Yeah, hard plug. Go listen to the Philip DeFranco show. Great show. He gets his news outlets from local news sources, global news sources, and then he kind of combines them together and figures out the full story.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
That's
and
a lot of work.
He owns a company and like hires editors and news people and stuff.
News people.
News people. You can tell I know the terms.
No, I get it. That's a lot of work, and
Yeah.
it doesn't always bring the most money, which is obviously why a lot of news companies just
Don't do it.
don't do it. You know, they're all about the big bucks, and you can't make a big buck like that.
I love local news sources that are like, we're first on the scene, and from the looks of it, and then the news anchor turns, and then turns back. There's 18 dead, and it's like a kid stuck in a tree or something like that.
Yeah, you're like, alright. And clickbait.
They're always yelling too, and they're going like this.
There's so much wind!
But a good one that I saw, it was in India. This news anchor was trying to show how much flooding there is, and he's like here, and he's like, as you can tell, there's a lot of flooding. Oh shoot.
There's a lot of flood. He's just swimming, or like standing in the deep end of a swimming pool.
Yeah, when you.
He's like
up to his neck.
as you can tell, there's a lot of flooding.
Oh, really? Wow, you could have used like a telephone pole or like a stop sign.
Could have stood on something, maybe.
You don't gotta jump in the water. This isn't an aerobics class.
My favorite is he was holding the cord. You could like tell he was trying to not get the cord in the water fully, so he's going like this to not.
He's got his arm up in the air, and, like right next to his face.
It's like, dude, come on.
I'm literally grasping.
I'm literally underwater right now.
One of my favorite one was like when that plane crashed on the runway, and then someone had wrote it in the names of the pilots.
And was it something wrong?
We too low. She was so convinced that the names were that. Oh man.
And what that comes from is 4chan. They send in stuff of like,
okay.
it was this meme. If you remember that.
I don't.
That came, so I'm not going to say it, listeners, because it's bad. But it came from a news source, and is this guy who supposedly was on the scene of the crash. And he's like, yeah, it was crazy. It was just like, she saw it, and it was coming, and then he said what it was. And then they're like, alright, stop.
Have you seen the one about the guy that like had to axe murdered someone?
And then he was stoned out of his mind. My favorite, and this is one that you won't hear me say it very often, but I will still say it. And it's these people. Have you heard about the whistle at Zoss where they weld a piece of metal?
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like, man, I tell you, when that car goes down the street, I mean, the whistle go woo!
Yeah, like that.
I love that whole news interview. The whistle go woo! And it's like, it fits so well with all of like our friends that talk about turbos and stuff like that. I'm like, the turbo go woo.
That video cracked me up.
I love
There's just
that
like videos of clapped out like Hondas and Toyotas, just like these whistle exhausts, just blazing through Compton at full throttle.
And then you got rubbed up, and he's like, the whistle go woo, and it's like, you couldn't trust anyone else. You just rubbed up over
Yeah. Oh, that's a funny one.
This has been the talking about our favorite news anchors.
So we can move into memes.
You want to?
Yeah. I gotta pull my phone out and see my. There's a good meme account, and it's not exactly family friendly, but on Instagram, probably by far my like most favorite car. And memes.
Can I read something to you really quick?
Sure.
So this is on Wenatchee Buy Sell and Trade, and by no means should this be a funny story.
Oh, we should just go into. That's for a different podcast. Going deep into the Facebook marketplace.
No, but this shouldn't be a funny story. But I found this last night, I think. Let me just read this to you, okay? I got emergency custody of my children and a protection order for me and them.
Buy, sell, and trade. We're starting on here.
We have a TV, but nothing in regards to DVD players / movies, no game systems, no tablet.
So this person's obviously looking for some stuff.
I am making minimum wage and now raising my babies on my own without help of anyone or family.
I think the government can help you out.
I am on lookout for Xbox 360, old game system they can use that doesn't have to be fancy, kid games, movies, cheap tablets, cheap DVD player, a toaster, period.
A toaster? Apparently, so my household hasn't had a toaster since I was like, okay, my parents claimed it was 7, but it was like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, we couldn't have the toaster anymore because I kept setting things on fire. Apparently, like the last time I remember the toaster got used, it caught on fire and it fully melted onto the counter.
Yeah.
Caught the cabinets on fire, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't my fault. It was my mother. She put like bagels in and walked off. And I don't blame her. Things are stressful, you know. But apparently it was my fault because I was like shoving forks and stuff and knives into the toaster.
You probably were one of those kids that saw an outlet and were like, oh, that's a really cool
Oh, I gotta get a story about that one actually.
I have a story about fire really quick. My mom, this was when my mom just had me, and my dad was at work, and they had bought a toaster oven, and she said the toaster oven caught on fire from the inside and hadn't yet reached the whole outside, and it was January, so it was really snowing outside. She said she opened the kitchen window and threw it out, and then closed the kitchen window and didn't say anything about it. And then my dad went outside and he was like,
Why
is there a toaster oven?
now? So we had okay, this is not the same story, this is a different story, but also appliances catching on fire. We had a microwave
Catching on fire?
from Costco like years and years ago. We haven't had it for like a year or so, 2 years. But yeah, as soon as you would turn this microwave on, the Wi-Fi in the house would go out. You couldn't get on, like, you had a fire stick on the TV, and you turn the microwave on and it would just jam all the Wi-Fi in the house. And you could like put your hand on it, and if you put your hand on the microwave while it was running, you get like all tingly.
Oh,
you
that's
couldn't
so weird.
think, and it was bad. But yeah, it just started like sparking and popping the breaker a bunch, so we just like kept putting the breaker on. And then one time it just totally cooked itself out.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the church's microwave?
Which one?
The one in the, you know where the bathrooms closest to the sanctuary are?
Yeah.
It's that like kind of off space where you can cook things.
Yeah. And
That microwave, it's old, and
I-
it's like, it feels like if you were to like
Oh yeah.
get too close to it, you get radiation
that's
poisoning.
that's not bad. Okay, all the places that I go to work, like these packing shit, I'm putting them on blast. But they have like microwaves and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're not in break rooms. They're just like in a machine room. There's like metal shavings like attracted to it. like there's like metal shavings that are working, and you turn it on because the guy that I'm working with, he always has lunch and he has to microwave it.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a microwave above the toilet, like. Or just like in the middle of this room, there's like grinders and stuff, so there's metal shavings, and you turn it on, no joke, like it just like goes towards it, just like all aligned to it. Yeah. There's some sketchy microwaves.
I'm gonna put my company on blast since we're doing that right now.
It's not my company, it's just companies that we work for.
Oh, okay. Well, this is actually my company. Right in the middle of the production line, we have set out 6 tables because they want to abide by social distancing rules.
Right.
So, and they have 2 chairs on each of the tables. The middle of the production line, it's like, guys, you know we work with like lead and
other heavy metals
that are really.
You shouldn't be breathing in.
Yeah.
And especially shouldn't be eating around.
Yeah, shouldn't be eating around it. But now these people are just munching away. Oh, I got a big gulp.
Big gulp of lead.
Got a big gulp of metal shavings over there. Oh, let me finish this though.
Oh, we're not done? Just toaster. Oh, the toaster was the last toaster on this
period. This is a big transition for my babies, and I know they won't be able to get anything that belongs to them back. I am willing to pay. My babies are 11, 6, 8, and 4 years old. Thank you so much.
4 kids.
4 kids.
Just have the 11-year-old look after the 4-year-old.
What about the 6 and 8-year-old?
Oh, they're there too.
And she, this was after my research. She works at a Shell station in town.
I go to the Shell station all the time.
It's up in Rock Island. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So if you guys got a toaster, hit me up.
Honestly, the toaster is the thing. Don't. The Xbox is like.
Yeah. Don't worry about the Xbox. If you guys got a spare
I
toaster,
didn't have like a gaming console thing until I was like 14.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty young when I
We got a Wii when I was 14. Lasted 2 years.
I was pretty young when I got my first video game console, but my dad had one before that.
Yeah.
But like, if you guys got a toaster, hit me up at Hometown Pod on Instagram.
Yeah, this lady's looking for toaster.
I will get this toaster to this lady, guaranteed. Let's talk about memes though.
Oh, first,
I got this.
childhood story real quick about just boo. Anyway, when I was little, my sister had like a lamp in her bedroom that would sit on her night desk, and it just like kept burning out lights. I don't know. I was probably like 7 at that time.
It
6 or
just
7.
kept burning.
Yeah, it was old. It was really old. But I had like this little screwdriver kit thing, and with the like you could pull out the screwdriver kit. And so I was like walking around, and one day I like went to do something. It was plugged in. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I had no clue. I was just gonna fix it, you know, because my dad fixed everything.
Yeah.
So I pull out this kit, and the light bulb's not in it. And the light bulb sits straight up and down. And I drop the screwdriver, the Phillips, down into the light bulb socket. And mind you, it's all plugged in and turned on. And so I'm like, oh shoot, just grab it out. Reached in, boom! 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 Yeah, it was.
So like the time that we were fixing
but my sister was in the room too, and I guess my shirt like started smoking or something. And so she took the shirt off, so I came walking out, my hair was like all standing up, and my hands were all burning. I came walking out in the hall, and my mom was like, "Why'd the power go out in the entire house?" And I was like,
you flipped the breaker.
All of them.
All the breakers, not just one. So we were over at Aaron's house, and we were trying to fix Hayden's car. Or, I forget what we were trying to do.
We were replacing that knock sensor.
That's right, we were replacing the knock sensor in Hayden's car. And Aaron's like, hey, take out this bolt for me. Use a wrench.
It's on the battery.
Yeah.
I was gonna have him disconnect the battery.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, okay. And I grabbed an extended wrench.
Yeah, so he grabs a ratchet, a socket, and then an extension. So the whole thing is about the battery, the length of the battery.
Yeah. And I do like the first pull, and I arc the battery, so there's a big pop, and I jump backwards. I probably electrocuted myself, and I didn't even know it.
You probably did. It's DC, so you don't really get like super heat. It just burns you a little bit. But yeah, he put it on the negative side and then went to ratchet and just hit straight onto the positive. And it like sparked. He jumped back and like smacked the tool away. That was funny. I felt bad about that one because like he doesn't.
We didn't know if his car was gonna start.
Well, it wasn't that. I knew it was gonna be okay. But you know, Seth doesn't work on a lot of cars, and the first thing he touches, and I was like, oh no, I'm trying to get you like you know feeling better about working on cars. And the first thing he does is our car.
You're my favorite thing was you telling me afterwards. You were like, man, I just didn't know. Like, I've never seen someone use an extension racket on.
Yeah, it didn't even occur to me like,
man, maybe Seth knows what he's doing though. Do that. Like,
yeah, I was like,
oh,
maybe
not.
he has a better idea. Like maybe you're gonna reach it or something. I don't know. I wasn't gonna question it. And, now we all know better.
Yeah.
If you see someone walking towards the battery with an extension,
Don't let it happen. But then he started his car, and we're like, well, it runs better.
It ran better, honestly.
So, like maybe arc your batteries.
No.
That's not
I cannot recommend that.
Yeah. Oh, so this was a thing that I had. I on a whim flipped an empty Red Bull bottle. And it landed straight up.
Well, after it bounced over.
Yeah. No. This was about 95 tries in.
Oh yeah.
And I want to see if I could recreate it. Because when I originally did it, I flipped and I was like, oh, it's just gonna land on my, it's just gonna land on the floor.
And it landed upright.
And it landed straight upright. And I'm like, why have I never filmed anything? So then I tried for about a solid hour, maybe two, to try and do it again.
My question is,
never did.
how bored are you?
I'm bored. I'm bored, Aaron. What do you think?
You know what I think you need?
What's that?
A
A girlfriend?
No. I'm not gonna get into that.
Okay.
Because Julia might be listening. But no, you need a project car, my guy. Why don't I find you a nice Accord? You just park it right out here. I'll help you wrench on it.
My mom and dad already said that they're not gonna let me have a project car just sitting here at their house.
But I'm gonna be sitting for long.
You run soon enough. This is a really funny conversation between Nathan and I.
Shout out Nate Holton.
Nate, big Nate.
The other names that we have now: Nate the Destroyer,
DJ Holt,
of
DJ Group Double Trouble.
Double Trouble Kid. I got. You know, I'm not allowed to be Double Trouble.
No, you're not.
I'm salty.
Did you go up to the high school retreat? Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I was there.
Were you helping with sound?
No.
Didn't think so.
I did help that one time. Didn't even
You're
pick up.
not wrong. So my mom texted me, or she told me, hey, I saw that other intern, the big one.
The big one.
And I'm like, yeah, where was he? She's like, oh, he's walking in a Target. And I'm like, alright. Let me text him really quick. So I texted him, hey, how was Target today?
Just creepy.
And he said, it was excellent. Were you there? I didn't respond.
Just respond.
Also, this was a really funny article. Washington State judge becomes new, Washington State welcomes new black, gay, female, and disabled immigrant judge.
That's a lot. So I don't know how to talk about that one.
I don't think there's a good way to talk about it. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, the Cam Jesus.
Cam Jesus.
Homeless.
Or can we talk about these ads that I get? So this is an ad for a dating website. This is an ad for a dating website called Flink. And it's for gamers. And it says her KD. Doesn't say what game her KD is. Just KD is 2.37.
Is it the? I can only assume that it's the offline screen that comes up on Google when Google's offline. The dinosaur game. That's the only thing that I can assume. Have you ever seen this picture of me? Cross country days?
No.
Just wrecking that kid from
You're just killing that kid.
Just killed him.
Yeah. You can I used to take photos for cross country, and you can never get a good photo.
No,
anyone cross country.
It's just
well, yeah.
So here's the reason why. It's just suffering for 3 miles.
Yeah. The only good photo I ever took was at the start of the race. Like directly, everyone was just in line. And that was the only No one's done anything.
No, as soon as you start racing or like running,
it's just down.
That's the car that I found on Facebook Marketplace.
Does the guy say it runs and drives?
It does run.
Oh! Engine's all there.
That had to be a violent crash. That was at Pacific Raceway.
Oh, Jesus.
That was out brand new.
Yeah. What's your aspect on a long distance relationship there?
Well, from what I've seen, it's very hard to have a long distance relationship right off the bat.
Yeah.
But if you have an established relationship,
How long would you say
say
the established relationship would have to have gone on before it starts long distance?
That really depends on the person. Because like I know some people who have a solid relationship in like 3 months, 3-4 months, but other people.
Let's say for you. How
For
long
me,
would you say?
well, it depends on the other person I'm with.
Okay. Let's make it easy. Say Julia.
Yeah. I mean, we could go long distance. I think.
Yeah.
It would be difficult.
How long do you say you guys would have had to have been dating before you got to that point?
Well, I think for her, probably would have been later, like probably about a year, maybe like 10 months to a year.
Okay.
I'd say for me, I guess it would be about 7 to 8 months for me with her because she's, I really like her, but yeah, I mean we haven't seen each other. There's been times when it's been like like 4 weeks and we only just saw each other like once between there. And it's hard, but it's doable, and it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Can you talk to Hayden about that? Because he doesn't understand you guys' relationship like at all.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't get it.
What is he not get about it?
He doesn't get how you guys can be so solid together and just
Never see each
never
other.
see each other.
Yeah, like recently, I mean, I saw her for 2 days in a row, but before that it'd been like a week, and now it's gonna be another week. So it was like a solid week and a half I hadn't seen her, and then I saw her Friday night, and then Saturday night, and then I probably won't see her again for at least another week, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
it's rough sometimes, but we're both busy and we both have other lives, and we definitely respect that.
Yeah. It's the only way you can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Oh, this is diverging off of that. What's a really weird age for someone to move out of their parents' house?
A weird age.
Like extremely weird age.
Like early or late?
Either way.
Well, I think
Let's go early first and then move into late.
well, I've known people who have moved out like right when they turn 16,
Okay.
but it doesn't usually go super well for them.
Mhm.
You know, you have to have a good job.
Yeah.
And even if you have a good job, and then it doesn't always go well. I think that after high school you could easily move out, and it would, like, under the pretense that you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone that I've seen who's moved out and been like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, it usually doesn't go very well. Yeah, it doesn't go very well.
Yeah.
And late?
Yeah, what's an extremely weird age to move out?
Honestly, it would be weird if you're still living with your parents at, like, 25.
Should I just leave all this in the audio version and have there be a bunch of cuts?
Yeah.
I would just leave it in.
Yeah.
I think it would be weird if you're like 25 and have a good job and you're still at your parents' house.
Have you heard about the dude who got evicted from his parents' house because he was still 44 and living there?
Wow. But I could see it if your parents, or if you had like a single parent, and you know they weren't exactly the mental issue.
This was dude that smoked weed and played WoW, World of Warcraft, in his parents' basement, and both of them still alive and didn't have anything wrong with them.
Should have been evicted a lot.
But it took 5 eviction notices for him to leave.
Dude, take a hint. This wasn't you, was it?
You get the first one, you're like,
this isn't it. What do you mean by this?
The second one comes, you're like,
is this a joke?
is this a joke? Maybe they're joking. The third one comes, you're like, maybe this isn't a joke. Maybe they're serious.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like get your stuff together, dude.
Yeah.
Move
That's
out.
crazy.
Like,
That's what Hayden asked me, and that was my answer. He asked me, what's a really weird age for someone to move out? And I said 44.
Because what
Because
about
that-
like 43 though? You did still?
No, like
Oh.
anything above like 30 is weird for me.
Yeah.
Like
I think if your parents
are
don't have
20s,
issues, you have like a single parent.
Yeah,
There's no reason that you need to be moving out anytime soon, I guess. If it's
unless you like have a wife and kid. That's like
well, yeah. If you have a family, you need to have your own place.
yeah.
But I mean, you can have your own place and then have your parent live with you.
That's different though. You're not under their accord.
Yeah. When you're living at your parents' house and you have a kid.
Yeah. I mean, unless like we're a single parent or something, even that's still weird.
Hmm.
Like,
Bringing up weird more conspiracy theories. This is a proven fact though.
Proven fact.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
No, was it Jeffrey Dahmer? Is he a Jeffrey Dahmer or
Did you hear that they almost released the Green River Killer?
Yeah, I did.
Yikes!
Yeah, right?
Get your crap together!
But it was either Jeffrey Dahmer or the other big one that did a bunch of stuff here in Washington. What's his name?
Oh, I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know the name either. I'm not super big into that stuff.
It's gonna bug me if I don't remember it.
yeah,
but it was one of those two. Growing up, he thought his dad was his or who he thought his dad was actually his grandpa, and he thought his mom was his sister.
Oh. Yikes.
Yeah.
That's a big yikes. And that ain't crazy like that. That's a bad combo.
Yeah. So then he becomes a serial killer, and it's like
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
kind of surprising, right? I mean, like,
Just gotta
how did this
nowhere.
happen, right? Yes. Well, do you have any more questions for me?
I don't.
You don't?
I could sit here and talk for a lot longer.
I know, I could
I
too.
got any more questions.
I don't have any more
Well,
questions.
what's your favorite place here in town?
My favorite place?
Not to eat, but just to hang out.
Just to hang out?
You said this basement and let it run.
No, it used to be Hastings,
Hastings?
but now it's Target.
Yeah.
Target, yeah.
Not up in the woods anywhere?
No. I mean, if I'm going non-biking, I'm going there to just ride the trail. I'm not there to hang out. Taco Bell, maybe.
Taco Bell parking lot
Yeah.
on a Friday night.
Target, though. I spend a lot of time at Target when I'm on quarantine. I'm not going to wear a mask, so I'm not going to even try and go to Target.
Are they requiring a mask?
No.
I don't know of anywhere that's requiring a mask.
Walmart.
Walmart?
Costco.
Oh.
I think Walmart is. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But since we don't have any more questions,
Alright.
let's end the show by you telling me a joke.
A joke. Shoot. I knew you were gonna ask this. I don't have a lot of good jokes like lined up because I'm more of this satire guy.
Mhm.
The best joke that I have is a meme. That's the shows a picture of like a space society, like a really good one.
Mhm.
And it says if 77 plus 33 equaled 100, society would be like perfect.
Wait.
77 plus 33 equaled 100.
Oh.
It's 77 and 33, right? It looks like it should work. It's not.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's kind of fun.
that's a terrible joke.
Yeah, that's not really good. Well, you already told your joke.
Do you have a joke? Do you have another one? You don't have anything better?
That's why I asked so that I could build up my joke. I do actually have a joke. Let me go grab a prop really quick.
Can we just hit it with a joke question? Still won't show my hat.
Shut up. So, what did the rapper say when he thought something was really stupid?
That's whack.
Yo, that's weedy whack, bro.
I guessed it.
No, you said that's whack. I said that's weedy whack.
Wiggity whack.
Well, thank you for listening to Interviews in My Hometown in the new face-to-face setup. And Aaron, thank you for being on the show. It really was a pleasure.
I have to come back.
Yeah. This should be a part 2.
Yeah, this should have a part 2.
I agree.
Or just memes only. Be prepared.
That'll be a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
Interviews from My Hometown is sound mixed by Seth Gamble, hosted by Seth Gamble, funded by Seth Gamble, and is produced by Hometown Productions. Music is by Pink on YouTube.